Welcome back to Foothills Firewood, guys. My name's Britt, and this is
Grady.
And today we're going to be milling up some walnut. Let's get it. All right, guys, so we are headed over to a good friend of mine's house. He only lives about 2 or 3 miles up the road from me, and he has a couple of sawmills. And I say a couple of sawmills. One, he has a circular sawmill. The other one is a bandsaw mill, and what he normally does is he will rough cut the cants on the circular sawmill, and it's a little easier on the blades to cut the bark and everything off, especially if it's dirty. And then he will fine cut, inch or 2 inch, inch and a half, whatever, cuts on the bandsaw mill. So basically what we're doing today, I think we're just going to mill these walnut logs into some cants, and we're either gonna leave them in cant form, or we might just buzz one of them down to see how it looks. I'm really not sure what I'm gonna do with these walnut logs, but I do know that I wanted to save them. They're not big logs at all. They're probably 10 to 12 inches of heartwood. We might get a 6x6, 6x8, maybe a 4x6. At the very worst, we'll have 3 or 4 nice little mantle pieces. And then best case scenario, we'll have some boards, and I'll be able to, build a desk or a table or something out of. Little man back here wants a desk in his room, so we're gonna see what we can't do. Grady, you got all your gear, buddy? What do we gotta have for the sawmill? We need headphones and eyewear, that's right. Because we are going to be working around equipment, we want to protect our eyes and our ears. That's right. All right. So we're going to check back in once we get there, but it should be a good time. Let's see if we can't get back to the mill in 2-wheel drive here. Sometimes the yard can get a little bit wet. So you guys can't see it, but over here to the left, right behind that red Dodge dumper, is the bandsaw mill. Yeah, it's nice and wet back here.
I can hear the slug. Hey, Dad!
Yep.
Mr. Brent says a honeybee thing, too. Where those bees make honey. Ethan has one, too.
get it twisted a little bit, but I don't know. Where's your... Yeah, 2 3/4.
So what you guys are looking at right now is Vince and I talking about how we're going to get the very first straight edge on this walnut log. Walnut can be kind of difficult because of all of the epicormic bud growths. You can see them in this video as we pass through these little spikes that come off of the log make it very difficult when you're rolling the log or when you're trying to abut it up against the carriage. It can make it very difficult to get that first straight edge. Once you get the first straight edge, it's pretty smooth sailing from there.
Yeah, I think we're probably gonna have to take that check out and then maybe take this piece out. so this is the sawmill here. Really cool the way this whole thing operates. So my buddy Vince, who is back here, I'll let him tell you guys about this, but he bought this tractor years back and has been using the Coyote because we believe the frame to be bent on this thing. So he has repurposed it and it's found a new home down here at the sawmill. It is PTO driven, and you guys can see the blade here. This thing is massive, and it just rides right here on this carriage. Hopefully some of the footage we get will show how this thing works. But Vince, what's the biggest log you can put on this thing?
I think about a 16-footer.
16-footer. And then how big around? Like, what's the largest width it'll cut? Width of the blade, I guess.
With turning it, you could probably get about a 26-inch log.
26-inch log. And so he uses this and is able to mill quite a bit of pine. He does a lot of building on his property here with pine. And then, of course, you guys can see the extra walnut slash that we've got over there. And we just loaded the cants right into the back of the trailer there. He's letting me borrow the cement mixer because I got another project going with that. But this is the sawmill. And I'll take you guys up to the other sawmill, the band sawmill, and show you that. All right, guys, let's go up here and see the band sawmill right there in the distance. Anytime I have milled in the past with Vince, this is the mill that we use. He just got that circular saw bandsaw, or not bandsaw, sorry, the circular saw sawmill that runs off the PTO. He got that because there will be often times that we would be milling on this thing, and going through the bark and the dirt and everything really just grinds these blades down. So it's nice that he can just put all of his wood down there on the circular saw mill and just basically cut it into cants and then bring it up here and fine tune it without putting so much stress on his blades and his bearings and everything here. It was just putting a lot of stress on this sawmill going through. Sometimes we would get in some of this pine over here, and as it would come to a knot, it would want to dive down below that knot. And you know, he would tighten stuff down and change the bearings, and it just really worked this thing pretty hard. So he found a good deal on that circle sawmill, picked it up, and now it does all the rough work, and then this one does all the honing here. So it's nice because those teeth will just rip through bark. It stabilizes as it passes through. No matter what the wood looks like, it's going to give you a nice straight cut. And it doesn't dull the blade like it will here on this bandsaw mill. But of course, when you're wanting, you know, 1 inch thick or 1/2 inch thick or 2 inch thick boards, you would rather use the bandsaw mill than the circular saw mill because the kerf on that circle saw mill is much larger, so you're getting a lot of waste. When you're milling things like pine, it may not matter if you just got tons of it, but if you're ever milling walnut or, you know, like we did today, or any species where you're just not wanting to have a lot of loss, then getting it into a nice cant over there and then bringing it over here is where you're gonna save the majority of your wood. Look at these turkey tails over here. Logs on logs. All right, gang, we are back at the house, and this is what we ended up with. We ended up with 4 cants. A couple of them are really good size. This one's a little smaller, and we left a live edge on it just to see, you know, what we might want to do. It looks like there might be some good knot and figuring up here, so we might try to book match that and fillet it open and see how it ends up. Other than that, we got probably I'm calling that maybe a 7x6. This one over here, I believe, is probably like an 8x8. And then we have one down there that's probably another 7x6 or 7x5. So like I said, we don't really have any plans for these, but we are going to go ahead and, you know, sticker them out in my wood shed where I'm drying the rest of the cedar and stuff that I have out there. Hey guys, once again, a little bit of a different video. I try to basically take you guys along with whatever journey, trip, or project that I am working on in the moment. It is most often firewood, but definitely not always. I hope this was a welcome new adventure. I really appreciate all of the likes, the comments, the subscribes, and shares. And until next time, we're out here having fun. Thanks for watching.